Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a MetalCoffeeShop.com Lunch and Learn. I'm your host today, Megan Ellsworth, and I'm so excited because I'm here with my friend John Sheridan from Sheridan Metal Resources. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Megan.
So glad to have you here, John. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of this Lunch and Learn, can you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Sheridan Metal Resources?
John Sheridan. Sheridan Metal Resources has been around for about 5 years, more or less. I also had a contracting company, Sheridan Contractors, that was around since the late 90s. Prior to that, I was with several different roofing companies since the 70s. So tons of experience, mostly in metal. Training started about 20 years ago. So
okay. And you are a Sherwin-Williams MetalVue vendor partner. Can you tell us a little bit about that partnership?
So I met Heidi Ellsworth about 5 years ago, maybe a little bit longer now. At a trade show in Montana, just when the MetalVue program was kicking off. And she had expressed interest in getting a training partner into the MetalVue program to supplement all the other services that MetalVue has. So that's how it started.
Awesome.
And from that, we worked with several different manufacturers, Drexel, McElroy, and a few others, to start putting trainings together for entry-level learning in several different metal applications and panel systems.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, thanks for being here, John. We're talking about building better metal roofing installers. So we're talking about training metal roofing installers today and building a better metal roofing industry and metal industry as a whole. So our learning objectives for today are: 1, understand why metal installation training is critical. 2, identify how training improves contractor performance and profitability. And then lastly, explore modern training resources and strategies for metal contractors. So, John, let's dive into the first learning objective, which is understanding why metal installation training is so critical today. So, I mean, let's just start right there. Why is it so critical?
I think the popularity of metal is outgrowing the skill set of metal contractors.
Interesting.
So I think we're in a situation where training needs to ramp up to keep up with demand. I don't know what the percentage of the market is now, but I know the percentage is increasing, and education is just not keeping in line with that.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I mean that's where we fit into the program.
Absolutely. So would you say have their complexity evolved over the last few years?
I would say that the amount of choices has evolved over the past several years. So with that comes some complexity, but I think it's as much the amount of systems that are available out there as it is the complexity of it. You can't teach anybody on one system anymore. You have to teach people on several systems because most manufacturers that are using Sherwin-Williams coil coatings have several different profiles, so you can't lock yourself into one specific product.
And what would you say are the most popular profiles you are training on now?
Absolutely. Number one is snap lock systems.
Okay.
So nail strip system, standing seam systems. Entry level is a nail strip system. Next level up would be a snap lock system. And then the top of the food chain kind of system would be a mechanical lock system.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Which of those do you see homeowners, building owners gravitating to the most?
Snap lock. Snap lock dominates the market.
Yeah. Okay, so what kind of costly callbacks can be avoided with, proper training, sending employees to go get trained, bringing a trainer in? Because, that can be an expense on the front end, but it can be so worth it when you're avoiding some of those costly callbacks.
Sure. A roof is never going to leak in the middle of a roof panel. It's going to leak where something comes through that roof. So a chimney or a pipe or a skylight or a valley. So that's where training comes in. Yep. You have to focus on those critical areas, because that's, if a roof's going to fail or if there's going to be a problem, that's where that problem's going to be. So our trainings are geared towards that. We try to cover as much of that as possible in a short 2 or 3 day training.
Okay, amazing. And then would you say that proper training could also, prevent material waste, or, if someone's using poor installation habits?
Sure, absolutely. The key to that, though, is when you train somebody, you should also bring up the people in the office, the sales staff, the people that are doing the estimating, because the guy in the field is the end of the run. The people that start the process are the estimators. So that process starts with the Eagle View or a similar system. That information goes to the estimator. The estimator gets together a material list. That material gets ordered and shipped out to the job site. So by the time it gets to the person installing the roof, it's too late.
Wow.
So it has to be the people that are actually estimating that project need to be up to speed also.
So you're not just training, people on the roof in the field, but also the estimators. I guess they're in the field too, but lots of estimators as well.
It's mixed. I mean, some trainings include management. Some of them don't. It depends on, we do whatever the people want us to do.
Yeah.
So we're not, that's where we differ a little from everybody else. We don't have like a standard curriculum. We try to tailor our training to the needs of the specific company.
Got it.
So if they need management help, then include management people in the training. If they don't need that and they just need to get a crew up to speed, then we'll get a crew up to speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So what are some skills that separate a trained installer from maybe someone that was either self-taught or just learned on the fly?
Speed of getting up to speed. Speed of getting up to speed. So everything I learned by trial and error. I made 1,000 mistakes, and if I can help prevent that from happening with somebody else, that company gets up to speed and learns how to do quality work faster than if they learned everything by trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And then lastly, for this learning objective, what are some risks contractors face if they, don't train their employees right, or use someone like you, or put their employees through a training program?
I mean, the risk is that the roof is not installed properly.
Right.
First, the second major risk is that the roof is not installed per manufacturer's specs, which affects the warranty.
Yep.
So if you spend all that money on a metal roof and something happens and the manufacturer comes out and does an inspection of that roof and finds details that were not done according to their specifications, they're not going to cover it. They're not going to cover it. So you have to be on top of, it's not like a shingle roof. You have to be on top of details from day one and make sure that you are following whatever the manufacturer wants you to follow to do a complete system, kind of a roof installation.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else to add on this first learning objective, which is, understanding why metal installation training is so critical today?
Tailor the training to what you need would be my best advice. And we do all kinds of different trainings. I'm jumping the next category, but we just started in October last year. We started a thing called a boot camp training, where we embed a couple of our guys in a crew, and we work with that crew from start to finish on an actual project. So it's not a classroom setting where we set up a little mock-up. It's an actual roof. So the plus side of that is that they learn on an actual project. They learn real skills in a real-world application. They get experience from start to finish through the whole project. So it went really well. We've done that 3 times so far, and it's been pretty good.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, this is now learning objective 2, identifying how training improves contractor performance and profitability. So what impact does training have on reducing job site mistakes? I mean, let's just kind of go back to what we were talking about in the first part, which is what are those mistakes that training can avoid?
Using the proper tools.
Yeah.
Laying the roof out properly. Working out how you're going to deal with a trouble area ahead of time and not making it up on the fly on a roof. So addressing concerns before they become concerns, that kind of stuff. Just try to head off as much on the installation and on the ordering end.
Yeah.
Always double check your measurements. Never trust an Eagle View or any of those. They're fairly accurate and they're really good for estimating. But prior to ordering a project, once you get the project, go out and double check all the measurements. We've had that happen on 2 of the 3 boot camp trainings. 2 of them, the material wasn't ordered. Wasn't perfect. Okay.
Dang.
So that kind of stuff you have to head off on the management side so that when it gets to the job site, that everything kind of flows.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when companies have multiple crews, how can they create that training consistency across those multiple crews? Just sending them all to the same training?
Yeah. So we lock everybody in a room and just beat out details for 3 days,
Yeah.
But one of the things we also try to do is to keep in touch with people after a training, because as soon as you walk out of a 2 or a 3 day training, if you don't forget everything, the recall is just not there, so people get it, but if you can reinforce that until they get through the first several projects, if they can just call you up and ask you a question, sometimes that will help them enough to avoid a problem. Yeah. So very important to me to make sure that everyone has my contact information to follow up if they need help. Yeah. Especially on the first few projects.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I've trained people on how to use cameras and whatnot, and there's always questions, when they're out on their own that first or second time. And so that's fabulous.
Yeah, it's intimidating. I mean, you go out, you have 10 skids of stuff sitting in a driveway. It's intimidating to get things going. Mm-hmm. So we try to do that. We try to put people, kind of make it a little more comfortable to back them up. If they have any questions, then they can call us, send us pictures. We've had that happen more times than I can count. I mean, we do that all the time.
That's great.
It's critical. You don't just want to take people's money and run. You want to actually help them become a good metal installer,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Learn this really skilled trade. Mm-hmm. You mentioned earlier proper tool usage. So what is the role that tool knowledge plays in productivity, finished quality? I mean, it seems like it would be pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, it has to do with a lot of different things. Basically, the more complicated the system gets, the bigger your tool requirement is, if that makes any sense. So by the time you get to mechanical lock, you need a ton of tools. Snap lock systems are a little less tool needy. So you can start metal roofing without a ton of tools. But as you progress and as your guys progress, you can add a few tools at a time to make your job easier. You can fight through anything with basic tools, but the name of the game is production. You're there to make money for yourself or make money for the company or support your family. Production and quality have to be key. Yeah.
Have you seen in real life, training directly improve profit and outcomes for contractors?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
And it's amazing. I mean, if you compare us to the Europeans will go through an apprentice they'll go through school for 4 years, and then they have to serve an apprenticeship. I have 2 days. I have 2 days. I have 2 days to make an impression on people enough that they want to continue to get better.
Yeah.
So we try to do that by following up and keeping in touch with people, making sure that people are aware that there are other sources besides me for information. Most of the manufacturers have training videos. There's tons of stuff on YouTube. There's Metal Coffee Shop. There are tons of resources available for people to access and gain knowledge. So that's how we have to do it in the U.S. Nobody has time to spend 4 years in school. It's never going to happen here.
Yep.
So we have to push people in the right direction, and we have to try to supplement that as best we can. And
do you see some companies kind of taking that apprenticeship approach with new hires, where, they kind of go through apprenticeship and then they're on their own and then they're a master or whatever?
Again, that's sort of the theory behind the boot camp thing.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
So that's an on-the-job training apprenticeship kind of thing.
Got it.
So
yeah.
So that's okay. You want to make that transition with a system that the guys can handle. You don't want to start a boot camp program with somebody on mechanical systems. So this company that we were signed up for 15 trainings. We've done 3. All 3 have been really good, with a few minor quirky things. But that's by the time they get through those 15 trainings, those guys will be up to speed in an amount of time that is probably 20% of what it would take them to learn by trial and error.
Wow.
Maybe longer. So we give them they make an upfront investment, and that investment gets their guys up to speed faster. So it's huge. It's
and I
huge.
mean, with less trials and errors, right? Less warranty mistakes, less any of that.
Yeah, no trial and error. I mean, and it's in English and Spanish. So the last two were Spanish. Cool. You know Moises. Moises is the guy. He is
the guy.
Yeah. So we try. So we try to service, and that's huge. I mean, it's a huge market, the Hispanic community or Latino community, whatever you want to call it. But it's good. Yeah. And it's hungry. The thing that I look for the most is if the people are hungry, if they want to learn, and we're there for them. We can teach them. Well,
and it just a reputation of quality installation, quality product at the end. That, I mean, is a lead to repeat business.
Sure.
So anything that you contractors out there can do to improve that quality at the end of the job is more money in your pocket.
Yeah, a 5-star review is way better than a picture of a leaky roof in your new kitchen. So you know what I mean? It's all about not looking like being the best possible company you can be and avoiding that kind of stuff, negative stuff.
So we kind of touched on some of this already. This is learning objective 3 now, which is exploring modern training resources and strategies for metal contractors. So John, you mentioned obviously Sheridan Metal Resources, MetalVue, Metal Coffee Shop, but what are some other training resources available today that, I mean, a lot of this has come in the last few years. A lot of this didn't exist a few years ago.
Available resources? Well, I mean, with the proliferation of social media and that kind of stuff, YouTube, all those outlets, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, there is a ton of information available out there. The thing that we try to do is weed through the stuff that is useful.
Yep.
And some people just go on there to show off, and it doesn't really improve anybody because they don't really explain what they're doing. So we try to put people in a position to, if we see something cool, we'll post it, Yeah. That kind of stuff. So, the short answer to your question is take advantage of, first, find a manufacturer in your area that that is dominant in your area. It varies from state to state and region to region. So find someone that has a supply chain that is a reliable supply chain in your area. Okay? Take advantage of any training that they have available, any videos, that kind of stuff. If you need to tighten things up and you want to take it a step further, then that's where we come in. We can take and talk to the manufacturer and put together a training program that respects everything that the manufacturer is trying to do and maybe supplements what the contractor is trying to do as far as increasing production, maybe increasing the ease of a detail a little bit, that kind of stuff. And all that we work out ahead of time and make sure that it meets the requirements of the manufacturer. Again, so we don't mess with anybody's warranty.
Yep.
We don't want to. We don't want someone to spend all that money to install a roof and then have it not be according to the manufacturer's specifications.
Not have it be warranted. So what are the certifications that you've seen manufacturers come out with and other training resources come out with that for metal roofing?
So the NRCA has their pro certification. That's one thing. That's a good program. I believe the MCA also has a test that you can take. That's pretty good. As far as specific system certifications, most of them lean towards the commercial side. It's hard to find a residential installation certification. Most of the larger manufacturers lean towards commercial certification. Because they charge more money for a commercial warranty. So it's more critical. It's more critical that it's done according to specifications. So a lot of times they will have a training program associated with becoming a certified contractor on a specific system.
Yeah.
Okay. So that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. This has gone so fast, and I just have a few questions left. It's so informative. So thank you, John. How can companies continue to create this culture of learning, education, improvement, training?
Present it as a career.
Yeah.
It's not McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And when everybody else is losing their jobs to AI is not going to be out there installing roofs.
Tell you that much.
So trades are going to be making a huge comeback as far as career possibilities.
So true.
First and foremost, it's not an entry level job. It's a career that you can make really good money at. Do occasional trainings if you're a contractor and you want to keep your guys up to speed. Doesn't have to be much. Just a 2-day training once a year. Once every couple of years. There's always turnover. You're always getting new employees. Try to keep the whole company up to speed, not just a few guys.
Yeah.
And just take advantage of whatever you can on the social media side of things. Develop a network. I have a crazy network of trainers all over the world. So I pull from that. I pull from those resources all the time and use that information to put together a better training. And I am constantly learning,
That's awesome.
So try to keep up to speed with what's happening. Try to keep up to speed with the evolution of tools, that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because all that stuff translates into better production and better quality. And that translates into more profit for the company that's taking the time to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So what would you say, what role does technology play in all of this, in training, in all this?
I think technology is a front end kind of thing. Straight technology. EagleView, for instance, didn't exist, let's say 20 years ago. Maybe it did in some form, but
right.
As far as the roofing service, let's say it's been around for 20 years for the sake of argument. That kind of stuff, all of the elements of the MetalVue program were not available. And not only were they not available, they were not pulled together in one kind of cohesive thing. for people to use, So people, again, if you can get a package like that from somebody like Sherwin-Williams, then you don't have to spend all your time looking for that stuff and weeding through however many different people offer those services. They have it ready to go. They've done their homework. They know what works and doesn't work. So that on the front end side of things, on the management side of things, helps put the guys in the field in a position to be more productive.
Yeah, the MetalVue program really pre-vets everything for you. So you go in knowing these are like trusted, certified people that are trying to help you make more money, sell more jobs.
Yeah. And they've done, like I said, they've done their homework. They know these people then. And there was a MetalVue, when MetalVue first started out, when Heidi first introduced it. Was that 5 years ago, 6 years ago? I don't even know. But it was a while ago. It went from maybe 5 entities, grew to like maybe 30 entities, and now it's back down to a core group of services that. Yeah. So it's going through an evolution. It's going through growing pains where it was everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon, and then it's backed off a little bit to the core group of people that really make it attractive to people, to contractors, as a legitimate service to help them on the front end.
So
front
impactful.
End of things.
Yeah.
It's
so
huge.
Impactful.
I mean, it's huge. I wish I would have had that when I started business.
I know.
back when there was disco.
So, LOL. If a contractor wants to really level up this year, level up themselves, their team, where should they start? What should they do first?
Well, trade shows are free. Go to a couple of trade shows. Next one we have coming up with us and with the Metal Coffee Shop is FRSA in Florida. Go to a couple of trade shows. Check out what's happening. Talk to some people. See what's available. Like I said, we're not the only people that are out there trying to do this. Take your time and find what fits for you, and try it. What your guys need. Identify what systems you want to focus on. Tailor stuff to fit that package. Tailor stuff to fit that learning package.
Yeah, and everyone really should go check out the MetalVue program through Sherwin-Williams Coil Coatings and learn more just about everything they're doing on their directory on MetalCoffeeShop.com. And then you can also start just with MetalCoffeeShop.com and also Sheridan Metal Resources directory there as well. So this has been fabulous. We've discussed our 3 learning objectives, which, to just repeat for everyone, were understanding why metal installation training is critical today, identifying how training improves contractor performance and profitability, and then we explored modern training resources and strategies for metal contractors. John, any last words of advice, wisdom to the contractors out there listening to this?
Last words of advice. So the types of training that we have done over the last year, we've done an all Latino training in Miami. It was over 50 people there. We've done project-specific trainings where we take a project, generally a big project. We identify the trickiest details on that project. We set up a mock-up to represent those details, and then we train the guys to deal with those details before they hit the job site, so that when they hit the job, they're up to speed on details and they don't get bogged down on a project. So project-specific training, of course, English and Spanish in several different systems, from entry level all the way up to top of the food chain stuff. And the boot camp thing. The boot camp training is. I really want to develop that. Because that's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge thing. Well, I think that does the most. That the project specific trainings are very good for production. Very good for getting people up to speed. So.
Yep.
For general information, all the other trainings are really good for for general introduction into metalwork. But if you have a specific project or want to grow faster, then invest the money, and we'll help you get through it.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, John, thank you so much for chatting with me today and sharing information on metal training and how to, provide more training to your company and to your workers. So I really appreciate all the wisdom and advice. And I just want to shout out Sherwin-Williams MetalVue program again for bringing John on here today, because Sheridan Metal Resources is a vendor partner with them. So thank you so much. And everyone, please remember to fill out the quiz, because you will be entered into a raffle to win free lunch. So definitely go check that out, fill out the quiz, and we'll see you all on the next Lunch and Learn from MetalCoffeeShop.com. Thanks, John.
Thank you. Take care.